wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve podcasting from real life. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm in my living room right now with, pecans roasting in the oven. I just made a batch of rolečky, which is a kind of Czech croissant pastry, and getting ready for the holidays. I've also made I'm working on a cutting board Christmas present, and I made a Christmas present for my mom, which I won't talk about just in case she plays this podcast before it releases. We are getting ready to hit the road in a couple days. I may do some recording along the way, but I wanted to get another episode recorded and out so I don't feel pressured to record on the road if I don't have time. So as per usual, I'm about to hit the road and go get immersed in family disputes and discussions and parties. And I always actually find that a little intimidating because I'm the weird dispersed son. I have dispersed, much like a population that gets separated from the main population. I have evolved in a different trajectory than if I had stayed at home, if you know what I mean. So I've got new ideas. I'm not as tethered by the culture and traditions of my family, so I start thinking in new ways. And not that I've abandoned all of the ideas that I grew up with, but I've changed quite a bit. So that's always interesting, and some of it I just keep to myself because I figure just peace and harmony is more important than yelling when yelling accomplishes nothing. But that's all right. Not that there's anything radically weird about the way I think. It's just different, right? But also, I'm really psyched to see my family, to play with my nieces and nephews, and hang out with my mom and dad. It'll be great. I hope wherever you are, whatever holidays you celebrate, even if you celebrate nothing at all, that you have a great December, a great solstice. By the way, yesterday was the first day of Saturnalia, the ancient Roman holiday where slaves could talk bad about their masters for a day, and people could gamble and all kinds of different things. They gave gag gifts. They had all kinds of fun. And we, as per usual, celebrated by going out for an Italian dinner. And we took our toy dinosaur along because there is a dinosaur actually named Saturnalia. So with our 3-year-old, we celebrate kind of a dinosaur holiday. And then we give a few gifts at the end of the day. It's the one holiday where we don't have to travel and go see relatives. So we celebrate Saturnalia on the 17th of December. Now, this week I want to talk a little bit about Seneca's on benefits, about gifts and being sad if you didn't get a gift that you wanted. I find as I'm getting older, I don't want gifts. Actually, I told my dad, he's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said, a bottle of scotch. That's what I want for Christmas. I don't know what a true sage would ask for Christmas. Just donate money to charity is probably the best answer. But I asked for a bottle of scotch. I don't need anything. I don't need crap. The only gifts, for the most part, the gifts that I'm giving this year are little things that I've made rather than things that I've purchased. Unless I see a perfect gift for someone that I could purchase that would actually mean something for them or to them. Make their life easier or make them happy in some way. Well, as happy as a material possession can make you. So let's hear from Seneca talking about the hedonic treadmill, just to remind ourselves to watch out for materialism on this holiday season. Seneca on Benefits, Book 3, Chapter 2 and 3. Who is so ungrateful as he who has so completely laid aside and cast away that which ought to be in the forefront of his mind and ever before him, that he knows it not? It is clear that if forgetfulness of a benefit steals over a man, he cannot have often thought about repaying it. In short, repayment requires gratitude, time, opportunity, and the help of fortune, whereas he who remembers a benefit is grateful for it, and that too without expenditure. Since gratitude demands neither labor, wealth, nor good fortune, he who fails to render it has no excuse behind which to shelter himself. For he who places a benefit so far away that it is out of his sight never could have meant to be grateful for it. Just as those tools which are kept in use and are daily touched by the hand are never in danger of growing rusty, while those which are not brought before our eyes and lie as if superfluous, not being required for common use, collect dirt by the mere lapse of time, so likewise that which our thoughts frequently turn over and renew never pass from our memory, which only loses those things to which it seldom directs its eyes. Besides this, there are other causes which at times erase the greatest services from our minds. The first and most powerful of these is that being always intent upon new objects of desire, we think not of what we have, but what we are striving to obtain. Those whose mind is fixed entirely upon what they hope to gain regard with contempt all that is their own already. It follows that since men's eagerness for something new makes them undervalue whatever they have received, they do not esteem those from whom they have received it. As long as we are satisfied with the positions we have gained, we love our benefactor. We look up to him and declare that we owe our position entirely to him. Then we begin to entertain other aspirations and hurry forward to attain them, after the manner of human beings, who, when they have gained much, always covet more. Straightway, all that we used to regard as benefits slip from our memory, and we no longer consider the advantages which we enjoy over others, but only the insolent prosperity of those who have outstripped us. Now, no one can at the same time be both jealous and grateful, because those who are jealous are querulous and sad, while the grateful are joyous. In the next place, since none of us think of any time but the present, and few turn back their thoughts to the past, it results that we forget our teachers, and all the benefits which we have obtained from them, because we have altogether left our childhood behind us. Thus, all that was done for us in our youth perishes, unremembered, because our youth itself is never reviewed. Seneca offers two major points of advice on avoiding the hedonic treadmill, this desire for more and more and more. One is cultivating gratitude for those who have given you things. Focus on that. Now, we can't cultivate always repaying them for nice things they've done for us. As he says, that involves a lot of fate. Things may not be in your power. You may not be able to repay them for everything they've done, but you can always be grateful. And being grateful is, as he says, when you're grateful, you're happy, and therefore you can't be jealous or envious, because holding both of those emotions at once is pretty difficult. The other thing we can do is remember to be also grateful for the things that we already have. For if we always are chasing something new, we kind of forget about the things we already have, and at the same time, we forget about those who made those things possible, whether it's our positions or a gift or whatever it is. Everything Seneca's talking about here comes back to being grateful, to have gratitude. No one can make you ungrateful except yourself, and there's no excuse for being ungrateful. And one of the ways to have a smooth flow of life is to be grateful and also to be happy with what you have. You won't reject new things, but to pursue them often means you forget about those who have helped you in the past. And we need to go back and remember, like Marcus Aurelius does at the beginning of the Meditations, remember those who have helped us to get where we are today, including your teachers. I really like that last comment. He says, remember your teachers. You've probably forgotten all about them. You don't think about how grateful you are for the fact that you can write and read and know your know the various presidents or whatever you've learned in school. You take it all for granted, and you don't even think back and think about how lucky you were to have had those teachers that made you mad, pushed you, and graded you harshly, but made you improve yourself. Now, all of that can tie back into this season. We need to, when someone gives us a pair of socks, oh, my timer's going off. Let me get the pecans out of the oven. I'll be right back. And I'm back. The pecans smell pretty good. If someone gives you a gift, it's not something you were, hoping for, right? That's out of your power what you get. If you get anything at all, someone gives you a pair of socks, you can be grateful to that person for thinking of you. And now you have something that you can actually utilize on a daily basis. And if you cultivate remembering them whenever you put those socks on, you can cultivate that sense of gratitude, which hopefully will help you not to desire more and more objects in your life, because you're happy with what you have, rather than having this hole inside of you that you're trying to fill with more crap. Fill that hole with gratitude. It's much more sustainable than filling it with more and more plastic junk. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to cultivate a little bit of that this Christmas season and try to figure out how to teach it to my son. I'll let you know how that goes, and you'll probably be hearing from me on the road soon. But let's try to be grateful. Let's also give. Don't forget to give. Seneca encourages giving, and don't think of gifts as expensive. Place the value on them that the receiver places on them. So and likewise, don't think of gifts as cheap. I made some very small handmade objects that weren't very good because I'm not the best craftsman, but I gave them as a gift, and the recipient was very happy to receive them. So I thought maybe I was embarrassed to give them this gift. They thought it was awesome. So that gift was officially awesome. So place the value upon the gifts that the recipient places on them. And remember, you don't have to spend money on people to make them grateful. You have to be kind, put some thought into it, and for the most part, be there if you can. And for those of you that have nowhere to go for Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, we are thinking of you. Do not feel alone. Remember, you can always chat on the Sunday Stoic Facebook page. There's a small community of folks there who will be happy to keep you company online. And you can email me at sundaystoic@gmail.com. And I'll talk to you soon. Carpe diem. Before I go, thanks to my latest patrons. I will name you on an episode coming up. But also, David, one of my patrons in Australia. Hope everything's okay with all those wildfires. Thanks for letting me know what's going on there, and we're thinking of you.
Thank you for listening to The Sunday Stoic. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and review The Sunday Stoic on iTunes. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team, earn rewards, and be an integral part of the show by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com or by leaving a voicemail at 501-503-3132. To find out more, visit www.sundaystoicpodcast.com. And as Steve always says, Carpe diem.